we've got a market panel joining us as always here. But let me get in Mr. Saroj Datta, who's been kind enough to be with us here this morning, former Executive Director at Jet Airways. So thanks very much for your time. Great to have you here. Sir, I have a couple of questions, and I just want to put those key questions on air first up. I mean, you know the business in and out. You're a veteran. So these are some of the questions which people are asking about the Jet Etihad deal. And you can sort of answer these questions in whatever order you prefer answering. But these are the questions. Does the deal mean that Jet essentially is feeding Etihad's routes? These are some of the questions being asked. Will Etihad change Jet's hub to Abu Dhabi from Brussels? As some are pointing out, will the deal mean significant fuel cost savings for Jet Airways? And will Jet eventually end up serving as a West Asian regional arm for Etihad, which essentially has to curtail its own ambitions, because obviously it won't be allowed to cannibalize on Etihad's international routes, which is much larger. The spread is much larger compared to what Jet does right now. So why don't you start with some of these points?
First of all, it doesn't mean that Jet becomes a carrier which is feeding traffic to Etihad. It's a question of combining resources of Jet and Etihad to improve the share of the market. Yes, Abu Dhabi will be a hub for Etihad, and according to media reports, Jet are planning to build a hub there or create Abu Dhabi as a hub, but whether it will mean transfer of operations from Brussels or not it's too early to say. What I think Jet is getting out of this directly, apart from the financial support that Etihad can provide, is the fact that it gets a much wider range of destinations to serve without operating directly itself. It can, out of India, some station, passenger wants to go to a point in Europe where Jet cannot and will not operate. There probably Etihad does, and we can then make sure that that traffic gets transferred or gets carried over Abu Dhabi for the connecting flight. I mean, exactly similar to what Emirates does.
Right. No, so in a way, sir, I mean, what the thing which is being talked about, that this becomes a feeder airline for Etihad's international operations. That is exactly in a way what you're saying, right?
No, exactly not. That is exactly incorrect. All I was saying is it widens the range of destinations that Jet Airways can serve. Because if it didn't go to Belgrade for a moment, or Vienna or something of that sort, we don't have to take the passenger all the way to London in order. But since Jet Airways' flights, I presumably, at least on the western routes, will remain as they are. The two flights to US or Canada, it's London, etc., etc. There will have to be a staging point in Europe, or transit point in Europe, which Jet will have to use for its those European and US operations. And therefore, it may not be a total shift of the Brussels hub to Abu Dhabi, but a smaller hub at Brussels will remain.
Okay.
If it remains, if it goes on that way.
Okay, got that. What about fuels? Some are pointing out that there will be significant fuel savings for Jet. I mean, how does it work?
I don't know how fuel savings are being assumed will happen, because Etihad and the Gulf carriers have always denied that they get any fuel any cheaper than other airlines, and that they do not get any subsidy from the government, local state governments.
Right.
So therefore, the And any case, and second thing is that the oil prices are negotiated with the oil companies. Fuel prices are negotiated with the oil companies. And it is unlikely, unless there are some secret pacts and things of that sort, that there can be a significantly cheaper fuel.
So ATF is not cheap. Is not cheaper in Abu Dhabi as compared to Delhi.
It is certainly cheaper because the taxes, local taxes, and particular charges that are levied in India are not levied there.
Right. Right, but they can't. I mean, you don't think they'll be significant or they'll be huge?
I don't think so, because it will not affect the operations of Jet on other routes and destinations.
Okay, got that. So the other thing which a lot of people are saying is that I mean, this is the first of the transactions, and there'll be more. So Etihad would want to increase its stake over a period of time in Jet. Would that make sense, or staying at 24% makes sense as well, business-wise, operationally?
There's no point in looking at the future at the moment. I think let the Jet Etihad deal stabilize and its full benefits be realized both by the market and the two airlines. Only then we can draw conclusions about what other carriers or what other partnerships should do. But it's possible that the other carriers, other people who are talking to Indian carriers, are probably will revisit their earlier studies and decisions as to whether to participate in the FDI policy of India.
No, you're saying this will encourage them to
review those studies once again.
Mr. Datta, thanks very much, sir, for dropping by this morning. Great to have you with us here, and thanks for sharing that valuable perspective with us. Appreciate it very much.